once again, we have a special guest.
We do.
Now, this is Peach Blush.
Yes.
A little better known than some of the obscure characters you've introduced us to.
She came along later in the game. She was introduced in 1984, which was the last year that the second last year that Strawberry Shortcake was produced as a toy line, but quickly became a very major, very featured character in those last couple of years.
She's got a much stronger scent than
does.
a lot of your other dolls have. Like I'm getting a wave of peach.
This is the original Peach Blush doll that came out in 1984. Now that year, the regular doll line was phased out in favor of themed doll lines. Okay. So Peach Blush and another character who we will talk about in the future were brought in as what they called party pleasers. So they were in party dresses. And Fran Kariotakis actually did an absolutely beautiful image of them that was used on the back of the packaging, which is kind of almost a Peach Blush signature portrait kind of thing.
Nice.
So here she is with her pet lamb, and you can see the lamb is all prepared for a party because they're party pleasers.
Lamb, he's so cute.
Now, the lamb's name is Melonie Belle. Yes.
Okay.
So go with me here a little bit. There's a bit of wordplay, and it's multi-level wordplay.
Melon, like melon.
Melon ball. But it's also a play on Melanie from Gone with the Wind, because Peach Blush is a Southern belle.
Of course she is.
So she talks with that kind of an accent and has that kind of a very feminine, very proper sensibility about her. And so Melonie Belle. But Melonie Belle was not always Melonie Belle.
Oh.
So early on in the production, and as we've seen from other things that we've talked about, when we've talked about Fig Boot, when we've talked about Tea and Honey, things evolve before they hit the market.
Sure.
Peach Blush was originally portrayed having a pet named Honey Lamb.
Oh.
Now this is a photocopy of a piece of concept art. The original is actually in the collection of a friend.
Okay.
But I was able to purchase this from a dealer and just so lucky to have this because it's so cool. But Honey Lamb actually was something that was late enough into the development process that it actually found its way into a piece of merchandise.
Oh.
So people who've been watching 80s Toy Boy for a while might recognize this
yes,
book.
Yes.
Peach Blush and Honey Lamb.
And Honey Lamb.
So that was actually something that changed very late in the process. My guess would be that they found out they couldn't use it in animation.
Oh.
Because we were told at one of the Strawberry Shortcake conventions by somebody who worked on development of Strawberry Shortcake that when they were coming up with character names, they had to make sure that it could clear animation, toys, books, products, you name it.
Right.
My guess would be Honey Lamb was somehow not available. Who knows?
Okay.
Maybe they just decided it didn't work.
That could be. Well, I think that the Melonie name is better.
It is.
Anyway.
It's so much fun. And it's so in keeping
clever
with what they were doing. There was so much wordplay with the names. Now, Peach Blush, as I mentioned, came out in the second last year.
Yeah.
This is the second version of her. The last year they made a major change. The dolls got longer hair and fancier outfits, and instead of pets, they came with little berrykin critters. Now mine is incomplete. She's missing her bow, but this is an original 1985 Peach Blush. And now, as you can see, we've got other things that look sort of similar.
Yeah, the face has changed quite a bit.
Yes. So over the years, as Strawberry Shortcake has continued to be popular with collectors, every once in a while some new toy company will come out with reproduction dolls. So this is a Peach Blush doll that came out, I want to say maybe 2016, 2017, from a company that was not only doing reproduction dolls, but at the time they were doing dolls for the current animation. And you can see it's definitely her, but maybe, some of the details are not quite so pronounced or everything. The face is a little different. And then again, when Altaia in Europe did their subscription dolls, they did Peach Blush. So this is their version of the Party Pleaser Peach Blush. And this is their version of the Berrykin Peach Blush.
Okay.
So she's continued to be a presence all the way through Strawberry Shortcake as it's been reimagined over the years. Including a couple of years ago, a company brought out little blind box dolls. There was Peach Blush.
Very, very cute. Now, this is disconcerting. I'm creeped out. I am genuinely, that thing is weird, Jay.
A lot of people are creeped out by the Berrykins.
Yeah.
We will do a segment on the Berrykins at some point because there was actually, as the Berrykin doll line was hitting stores, there was a plan to spin them off into their own franchise.
Yeah.
I have some interesting stuff that speaks to that. They're a little strange, and when you read the lore, it doesn't do anything to make it less disconcerting if that's how you're inclined to react. But we will talk about that, so stay tuned to 80s Toy Boy.
For sure. It's just the juxtaposition. You've got this sweet little lamb.
Yeah.
You can count your sheep before you go to sleep and maybe have a nightmare about this, like, berrykin thing.
Yes. Yeah, not everyone loves them. I remember when my best friend found out about the berrykins, she used the word morphindited to describe them. I think it works.
That does work.
I love them, but I get they're not everybody's cup of tea and honey.
No. Now, this is really special, and that's why it's in like a sealed, hermetic, thing, because it is one of the more rare things in the entire Strawberry Shortcake collection.
It is. So early on in Strawberry Shortcake, they started doing the PVC minis. Over the course of the toy line, they did 64 of them plus 18 deluxe ones that had special accessories.
Okay.
They introduced 10 in 1984. Peach Blush had a couple of them. Most of the stuff from 1984 is, I won't call it rare, because if you want to find it, it's out there.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
No.
The loose miniature of this alone can sell for $80 or $90.
Ooh.
I found this one on the card at an antique store in Edmonton. It was very much an IKEA start the car moment, who can unlock this showcase for me?
Yeah.
And so I'm very fortunate to have, and I got it for a very good price, a mint on card Peach Blush with Melonie Belle.
Yeah.
But the single rarest, most sought after toy in the Strawberry Shortcake line is the Peach Blush Deluxe miniature. For whatever reason, fewer of them were made.
Yeah.
And it is my belief that, with maybe the exception of a few in the Ohio area where Strawberry Shortcake was kind of birthed, they weren't properly sold in North America. My belief is that most of the deluxe Peach Blush miniatures found their way to Australia and New Zealand.
Okay.
Mine came from New Zealand.
Wow.
Now, mine is missing the trellis, and she's a little bit faded. I don't care. I
No.
never thought I would own this. This was a holy grail item for me. I had just accepted that this would always be a hole in my collection. And then a couple of years ago, something kind of fell into place, and I was able to get one. So I hold out hope that maybe one day the trellis might find its way to me
That's
as well.
right,
Who
yeah.
knows?
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. It's very fitting that you have one. And I have this theory about collectibles that, like, it's not always the person who has the most money that has the best collection, but it should be the person who loves it the most has the best collection. And
I like to think that's me.
I think that is true. So yeah.
So this is very special, and
is.
I don't necessarily display it like a museum piece. It's just in my collection with everything else, because Peach Blush is in my collection with everything else.
Well, and I think with like all the stuff that you have, you'd have to be a very savvy criminal to be able to just come and pluck that valuable piece out.
Right.
You wouldn't know otherwise. But she's very, very adorable.
Yeah, she's wonderful. I'm very lucky to have her. And someday I will get the third Peach Blush miniature, because there is also one that more closely resembles this.
Okay.
They made some aesthetic changes to it, but it's Peach Blush and Melonie Belle getting ready for bed, and someday I will have that one as well.
Awesome. Well, it's interesting to see the evolution of the doll, the facial features, the clothes, the color palette, all those things. Really, really fascinating to get a chance to see all that.
Yeah, now one more interesting little thing about Peach Blush. As you'll recall, because you work with me and I don't shut up about Strawberry Shortcake, in 2021, a fourth animation continuity in the Strawberry Shortcake history was brought out, modernized the characters. It was called Berry in the Big City.
Yeah.
Very different from other Strawberry Shortcake, but still very in keeping with Strawberry Shortcake and the values that it sort of brings forward. In the first season of Berry in the Big City, a one-off character was brought into the animation named Peach Trifle.
Oh.
An adult character, a person of color, looked nothing like Peach Blush, but people assumed this was, they're reimagining Peach Blush. Well, it turns out not. Because somebody asked the showrunner, a brilliant man named Michael Vogel, who was actually also involved in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, somebody put a post on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, asking him, is Peach Trifle the reimagined Peach Blush? He responded by saying, no, she is a one-off character. If we're able to do more episodes, we had plans to bring back Peach Blush as somebody new. Unfortunately, season 4 never happened. But it's nice to know that Peach Blush, as has always been the case, would have continued to be a part of Strawberry Shortcake lore, and I'm dying to know how that would have been done. I like to think the southern angle might have been kept. Who knows, though?
Yeah, well, maybe we'll put the wish into the universe,
will.
into the ether, and hope that it bounces back and we'll get more and we'll get to see her again.
It would be wonderful. But as is, it's just nice to know that that was something that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Peach has always been an important part of the line and would have continued to be so.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jay, for bringing all your sweet little friends and not so sweet little friends in to meet us today. This has been wonderful.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.